photo op right there. If we
Well,
take
there's a perfect photo, y'all, and that's another thing is if you want to stop and take pictures, if you get your front tire up on something flexing, you want to get out, stop and take pictures, man, y'all let me know. I'm here for you guys. I'm here to do what y'all want me to do and make this day fun for y'all. Okay guys, I'm gonna start the trail meeting. This guy could be a minute back here with his airing down. I don't know what's taking so long airing down. So right off the bat, I want to cover, we've already covered ladies to the right, men to the left, JKs, JKUs, JLs, JLUs. When we go into 4 low and you're in drive, your Jeep is actually in gear 2. It's actually in gear 2. It won't take off in gear 1 unless you manually move it down to gear 1. So when we're crossing over some of these rocks and you feel like you just don't have a lot of power to pull you over those rocks, pull it down into low 1. It's just a default setting they have on these JKs and JKUs and the JLs and the JLUs, just so you don't get into that really low torque and spinning your tires and stuff. We air down our tires for the benefit of having the tires flex over rocks. If you guys have never run rocks before, that's a pertinent action that you take so that you don't blow a tire out. And I use a balloon as an example. If you blow a balloon up all the way and take a fingernail and prick it, pop. If you let that air down to about halfway, prick it with your fingernail and it's not going to pop. It's a lot harder to pop a half full balloon than it is a full balloon. So that's why we air down our tires. Do what?
It's better on the back. It
is better on the back too. It kind of helps your suspension a little bit. We will be flexing our suspensions today. We will be flexing our tires today. This trail will beat you to death. It's a rocky trail. When I told y'all that yesterday, I mean it's a rocky trail at the end of the day. Look, I don't recommend you eat a lot for lunch because the ride back is just as rocky and bumpy. I haven't seen anybody go out the window with trajectory vomiting yet, but I'm not got, I got 15, 17 Jeeps lined up. I don't see everybody all the way back, so not saying it hasn't happened. We're in the Jellicoe Creek. We're in the Jellicoe Mountains in Tennessee. This creek is normally maintained by just the people that come down here. There's a guy named Carl Bush that was around yesterday. He usually comes down here pre-trail ride and cleans up all of the areas that we use, cleans up all the trash, bags it up, comes down in here later with a trailer, loads it all up, hauls it out. But Carl has just recently, if you guys are on Facebook, has recently had 2 shoulder surgeries, so he wasn't able to do that. So our lunch spot you'll see is a little bit messy. Y'all feel free if you have trash around you to pick it up. I've got a trail bag on the back of my Jeep. Yep. We always try to leave things better than we found them. That falls under the tread lightly slogan that's commonly used among off-road people.
Lightly, leave no trace.
Try to keep your headlights on so you can see the Jeep in front of you and behind you. We've already had that problem, not calling any names, but we've already had the problem this morning with if you don't see the Jeep behind you, stop and let somebody know. We all want to keep up with each other. The harder obstacles that I know of, I will get out and guide. But I will pull far enough up on the creek that we can squeeze everybody in. This creek that we will be in will be wide enough in 90% of the places that you can park Jeeps 3 wide. Wow. So when I say y'all pull up and try to get 3 wide, pull up and try to get 3 wide. I will pull either far left or far right. I usually try to park my Jeep in one of the harder spots to get to. That way the other 2 Jeeps can park beside me. That gives everybody room to negotiate obstacles as we're trying to guide them through. Most of the stuff we're going to do today is just going to be a bumpy, fun Jeep ride on the creek. There's going to be a couple of places that I will get out and guide. There's one place that I would actually kind of like to stop and look at for a brief moment. and it's one of our first obstacles that we used to hit. But it's uncovered today, and it was uncovered Tuesday, and I didn't think to stop and look at it. But Matt may remember, you kind of dropped down into a water hole, and there was a rock underneath the water in the water hole. If you didn't just hit it right, then your differential or your steering would get caught on it. You kind of had to back up, renegotiate, get your tire on that rock down under the water so you can get up on the next rock right in front of you. But we don't want to damage our vehicles today. Those of you at JKs and JKUs, I want you to pay real close attention today to your rear differentials. The rear differentials of a JK and JKU, the covers on them lip down about that far below your differential case. And we had a lady a couple of years ago who lipped her differential cover on a rock, and it pulled it up ever so slightly, and it slowly started dripping gear grease out. We all smelled gear grease, and we were all like, is it mine? Is it me? Am I smelling this? You know, but nobody really knew where it was coming from until we got back into town at the church right before you get to the water park, and that's when her rear differential locked up. So y'all pay real close attention to, you know, just walk behind your Jeep and look and see if there's rainbow stains in the creek is the best way to do that. And then at the end of the day, maybe look down and make sure that you haven't lift your differential cover, rear differential cover on the rock. Make sure you're not leaking gear grease out of that. We will be fording some water that will appear to be very deep, but y'all just follow me. Y'all know where your air intake is on your Jeep. Most of them sit about this high. I mean, if you're this high in the water, you're probably going to do okay. Know where your air intake is. We shouldn't get in water. You know, we had a little rain, but we shouldn't get in water over anybody's air intake today. But please be aware where your air intake for your Jeep is. We've got one spot in the creek that's about a 30-foot wide rock, about 4 foot tall. It's got about a 100-foot tall tree laying across the top of it. We will have to pop out of the creek right there and pop down in the creek. You'll see where I tried to cut some of the limbs off, and we got to looking down into the water hole that we normally use to go around it. It was full of logs and sticks and twigs and everything else. And I didn't want to take a chance on us dropping down in there and a stick popping up and going through anybody's radiator. So we'll just pop out there and it's just a real quick pop out and a real quick pop back in. Pop back in is going to be really kind of fun.
You got the photo op right there?
Well, there's a perfect photo, y'all. And that's another thing is if you want to stop and take pictures, if you get your front tire up on something flexing, you want to get out, stop and take pictures, man, y'all let me know. I'm here for you guys. I'm here to do what y'all want me to do and make this day fun for y'all. More important thing to cover is we are doing rocks today. In order to in order to avoid damage to your steering components on your vehicle, your Jeep, it is very important that we use these tires for what these tires are made for. We do not try to straddle large obstacles in the path. We try to put our tires on those obstacles and use our tires to go over those obstacles. Because if you try to straddle a rock standing this tall, I promise you the first thing you're going to hit is going to be your tie rod on your steering, and that's the wide bar that goes from one tire to the other that makes them do this together. And if you just so happen to go over an obstacle that's a little bit shorter than your tie rod, the next thing you're going to hit, and I think we have an XJ tomorrow that's riding with us, the next thing you'll hit is your differential. And we had one a couple of years ago who had an aluminum differential cover, and when he hit the obstacle, when he hit the rock, it split that aluminum differential cover. Now, we were able to JB weld the crap out of it and get it all put back together and head back on the trail, but avoid that at all costs. Put your tires on those obstacles and go over, not straddle. Are there any questions y'all have? Oh wait, one more question. Is there anybody here that has any medical training from basic to advanced? I know there's one. I'm not going to set him out, Matt.
My buddy with me as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you're trained in.
I'm a former Army combat medic, and I'm a
That's
vascular
fantastic.
surgeon.
You have your jump kit.
I do not.
You know how to do it without.
I left my rat's pack at home. But,
Yeah, you know how to do it without a jump kit. And you're trained in? Licensed nurse, okay. So I'm basic life support trained. Most of us have basic life support. Put pressure on the wound, suction chest wounds, grab that trash bag and put over it.
Let's avoid
just
this.
in case we have to have a heart surgery out here on the trail.
We got Matt.
Surgery.
Matt is a heart surgeon.
Oh, great.
It won't be very sterile, I'll say that.
You know, but
Antibiotics.
just in the event.
Rub some mud on it, it'll get better.
But other than that, let's go ahead and mount up on our Jeeps, and we'll move forward. And, all right, well, that's the trail meeting for Rock Bottom, and we're gonna get mounted up and get ready to go, and hopefully have some good videos for you for the trail. Thanks for watching.